He cheated on me, but not for real. And I cheated for real. And now looking back, I don't even know what hurt more, his supposed betrayal or my real one. We had been together for 7 years. Sometimes I felt like I knew him better than I knew myself. I remembered how he drank his coffee, the exact minute he started falling asleep during movies, how he frowned every time he couldn't find his keys even though they were right in front of him. We had our own quiet, ordinary life. Not perfect, not glamorous, but full of warmth. Love without loud words. Just comfort. I thought it would last forever. But then something started to change. Slowly, he became different. Late calls, messages he didn't explain, a phone he suddenly kept close all the time. He smiled at his screen. That same smile I hadn't seen in months. I tried to ignore it. Told myself I was overthinking. He's tired, he's busy, it's just work. But deep down, something broke. When a woman feels she's no longer loved, she knows. So it got worse. Late nights at the office, perfume that wasn't mine, silence where there used to be laughter. And one night, I did something I swore I never would. I picked up his phone. I knew I shouldn't. I knew it was wrong. But fear was louder than reason. I opened his messages and saw it. One sentence that burned through my chest. Thank you for the evening. You're the best. That was it. My world shattered. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I just stood there, staring at those words, feeling everything inside me collapse. The next morning, I acted like nothing happened. I smiled, made breakfast, asked about his day. But inside, I was dying. Days passed. I became a ghost in my own house. Every "I'll be home late" felt like a slap. Every glance at his phone, like a knife. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. I stopped being myself. My friends told me to leave. Don't torture yourself, they said. But I couldn't. I love him too much. And that love started to feel like punishment. Then one night, after another argument, he slammed the door and left. I sat there alone, with a glass of wine, thinking, why should I be the only one suffering? Why should I be the only one betrayed? And that's when I made the worst mistake of my life. There was another man, a stranger. A few kind words, a smile, and I broke. I thought it would make me feel stronger, freer, maybe even equal. But in the morning, all I felt was disgust. Not power, just emptiness. A few days later, my husband came home early. He sat down across from me and said quietly, I don't understand. You're not yourself. What did I do wrong? I snapped. What did you do? Maybe ask your lover that question. He froze, looked at me in disbelief. Then, calmly, he unlocked his phone, handed it to me, and said, Look. I opened the chat, and my heart stopped. The woman I thought he was cheating with was his sister. They were talking about their mom, her moving, small family stuff. That message, thank you for the evening, was just gratitude for his help. Nothing more. I never hid anything, he said quietly. You just didn't want to believe me. He spoke so calmly. No anger, no shouting. And I wanted to disappear. I stood there, holding the phone, realizing that I had destroyed everything for nothing. He never cheated, but I did. He looked at me, eyes full of sadness, not rage. I thought trust was something we had, he said, but now I see we didn't. And then he left. Just like that. I stayed behind, surrounded by silence and guilt so heavy I could barely breathe. I tried to reach out later. Messages, calls, apologies. He didn't answer, and I understood why. How can you forgive something born not from betrayal, but from mistrust? I didn't lose my husband that day. I lost the person who once trusted me with his soul. Months passed. Life went on. I work, I smile, I pretend I'm fine. But every night, when I close my eyes, I go back to that moment. The moment I could have simply asked. He cheated on me. Not for real. But I cheated for real. And now I know. The pain of betrayal fades. But the pain of guilt never does. I used to think a strong woman is the one who never forgives. Now I know. Strength is trusting, even when you're scared. If you ever find yourself where I once was, don't make my mistake. Don't destroy something that could have been saved. Just ask. Just believe. Just talk. Because sometimes one honest conversation can save love, and silence can kill it forever. We often lose people not because they stop loving us, but because we stop trusting them. And trust, once broken, doesn't make a sound when it shatters, but it echoes for a lifetime.